So I don't know about you guys, but I'm noticing layoffs are piling up across a lot of different industries. And the reality is this could get worse, especially now that there's a lot of uncertainty for businesses with tariffs, right? The China-US trade war. Where are things going next, right? So with this uncertainty businesses are seeing right now, they're starting to pull back, right? And they're laying off people. Not all businesses, not every industry, but we're noticing it. And people, guys, well, they're struggling right now. Let's break this down. And of course, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's get into it.
So I got laid off on Thursday. Today's Monday, and I have a lot of thoughts. So let's talk about it. For reference, I'm 28 years old. I've been working in corporate America for, 8 years. I graduated college in 2018. And this is my second, technically third time getting laid off if you include a furlough from COVID. I was not expecting it at all. I was pretty blindsided. But I am super, super thankful for this layoff versus my last one. And let me explain to you why. The last time I got laid off, I was 24 years old and I had just purchased my condo. So my first piece of property, the only piece of property I own, I used most of my savings to purchase it. It's truly my biggest accomplishment. And 2 months later, I had no employment. I vowed to myself from that moment on, I would never let myself feel so scared and so hopeless ever again, because I truly wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was like, I think I'm going to be on food stamps. And my parents, just for a backstory, I had no assistance getting my house. My parents sent me dish towels as a thank you present. I 100% did this on my own. So it was 100% my responsibility to figure out what I'm going to do. With that being said, I then met my now fiance a year and a half later, and I live in his house and we rent out my property still. So we do make a little bit of rental income. I also teach Pilates and I own my own Pilates grip socks business. And I have done this weekend what is called redistributing my calories, now knowing one of my sources of income will be diminished. So I guess my biggest piece of advice here for women, because that's who I'm really talking to, but truly anyone, is do not put all of your eggs in one basket. I don't care if you have the best corporate job in the world. I don't care if you think you have the job security. I used to tell people that this was the job I was retiring to, and I absolutely got blindsided by this.
So I love that she said that. The biggest myth when you're working a corporate job for a big corporation, right? The biggest myth is that you have job security. The reality is you don't have job security. You can be fired tomorrow and you'll be out of a job, right? Or at least you'll be out of a job for that moment until you find a new job. But there's no such thing as corporate job security. There's just not. You can easily be replaced tomorrow, right? So that's number one. And number two, she's so right when she says don't have all your eggs in one basket. And she says that meaning don't just rely on one income, don't just have your 9-to-5 job at a corporation and that's the only way you can make money. Nowadays, guys, you need to have a side hustle, figure out how to make money online. I mean, if you think about the time, the generation, the time period we're living in right now, it's the easiest time ever to have a side hustle, to make extra money with the internet. Think about how lucky we are. We don't even realize how lucky we are. We have the internet, and it's mind-blowing how people don't use it to make extra money. I'm not saying to use the internet and make, millions a year. Obviously, everybody can't do that, but can you make an extra couple hundred, extra $1,000, $2,000 here, figuring something out? Yes, you can. So, number one, job security is a myth. And number two, I love that she said, don't put all your eggs in a basket. That's a great saying for a lot of different things, but definitely when it comes to your income, have multiple streams of income.
So yesterday I was laid off for my job, my very cushy, very nice trucking job. And that's all good. I got 2 interviews. I'm on my way to one right now. They're both better paying jobs. One of them is even closer to my house. But that's actually not what I want to talk about. Yesterday, while I was on that phone call, one of the drivers that was getting laid off, he said, "Hey guys, so you request a 2 weeks notice from us when we're going to leave. In fact, last year I did give you a 2 weeks notice. I decided to leave. I found a better job and I put in my 2 weeks and you guys talked me out of it. You said, no, we're going to give you a raise, which you did. but I would be in a much better job right now. But you can't be bothered to give us a 2 weeks notice. Hey, you're about to lose your income. We have to give you, a multi-billion-dollar company, 2 weeks to find our replacement, but you can't be bothered to give us the same courtesy. The boss said, this is not a decision leadership makes lightly. And the driver said, that's not what I'm asking you. Then he said, there's not much more I can tell you. I'm sorry things are the way they are. And that was that. Let this be a reminder that you can be as loyal as a dog to a company. And when they decide to let go of you for whatever reason, they're moving on. And there's nothing you can do about that. And also, we're done giving 2 weeks notices. Courtesy is a two-way street, and if I can't expect that from you, don't expect it from me.
So yeah, this goes back to what I said in the previous clip. There's no such thing as job security. When a company decides they're done with you, boom, you're done. You're fired. You're gone. You're laid off. You're going to be replaced. You know, that's the reality of the matter right now. And I like how he mentioned that there's no more 2 weeks notice. At least for the company he's working for, maybe for a lot of other companies out there as well. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense. You're supposed to give your 2 weeks notice to a company, right? So they can find a replacement for you, but they don't really do that for you, right? They're not going to be like, okay, I'm laying you off in 2 weeks. Make sure you find another job in the next 2 weeks to replace your income. They don't do that for you. That's the crappy thing, right? And this guy's a hustler, man. He found a job the next day. So he gets laid off, and then the next day he has 2 job interviews. I'm sure he got the job, right? Guy's a hustler, but that's the reality. You need to realize there's no such thing as job security and have some money put away. Have an emergency fund, have some savings. So if you do get laid off, if you don't have an extra income, side hustles, right? If that was your only income, now you're laid off, make sure you have some cash put away so you can live off of that while you figure out your next job. Does that make sense?
I just got laid off. I was laid off from my outpatient job and I was working in a NICU follow-up clinic. I have never experienced something like this before. So I'm doing what any sane person would do, which is I'm eating French fries, waiting to go into Hobby Lobby. I will say I'm very thankful that I work per diem. I do have a second job that I'll just pick up a little bit more at. I don't have benefits through this job, so I'm not taking a hit as much as a lot of the other nurses are, but whoa. I have a lot of feelings about this. I think the biggest one I'm feeling though is disappointment and I'm a little bit angry. This is the first time where I have seen with my own eyes that we treat healthcare like a business. It sucks because at the end of the day, the people who are suffering this layoff the most isn't me. It's not the nurses. Although yes, we are suffering. It's the kids. And that's what I'm having such a hard time understanding is why are we doing this when we know the detrimental impact it's going to have on the patients who are the children?
So yeah, you're noticing layoffs in nursing. I forget what kind of nurse she said she was, but you're seeing it in trucking as well. So these are a bunch of different industries. And yeah, I mean, she said healthcare is treated like a business. Of course it is, you know, I mean, of course it's treated like a business. Have you not seen healthcare, insurance, you know, this whole scheme they got going on with hospitals, you know, insurance, this, that. We're not going to get into that in this video. Here in the United States, there's a lot of money in insurance and healthcare. Of course, it's a business. So I'm not surprised that nurses are getting laid off. It is what it is. But yeah, that's the sad reality right now. Whether you're in trucking, you're in nursing, all these different industries, we're seeing layoffs across the board.
My role got pretty rocked this week because I got laid off from my corporate job after working there for nearly 6 years. So I wanted to tell you some of the story because it's kind of ironic, but also I just want to share how I'm feeling about everything and what's next. My team was terminated due to budget cuts on April Fool's Day. At the time, several other projects were being terminated as well, and in all of that chaos, apparently ours was accidentally terminated. So 15 minutes later, we were reinstated while the project figured out what they wanted to do. Talk about a sick joke. All we were told is to to just keep working as best we could, and then more information will be coming as soon as possible. Flash forward to this week, the project did ultimately decide to terminate, and since there wasn't another project for me to hop onto, my role was terminated as well. I'm obviously bummed about losing my job. I loved my teammates and I loved my manager, and I really did value the work that we were doing. But aside from the initial shock and disappointment, really I'm just very grateful for this community that I built online, and honestly humbled by the sheer number of people who are either going through this right now or have dealt with a layoff in the past. I feel very privileged to have my social media career and my community, so it's hard for me to feel bad for myself when I know that there are so many people out there, including people I work directly with, who are going through it much worse than I am. I truly believe that this is forcing me to step out of my comfort zone and look at new opportunities that I absolutely would not have looked at if I wasn't in this situation. As for what's next, to be honest, I'm not fully sure yet, but what I do know is that I'm going to be fine, and I'm definitely going to keep documenting my journey with you all. And hey, maybe I'll finally have time to write that novel I've been teasing for so long. I do want to thank all of you for the love and support over the years, and especially those who went out of their way to send me a kind and encouraging comment or DM yesterday.
Yeah, yet again, another example. Job security doesn't exist. You know, he worked that job for 6 years, then all of a sudden they're having budget problems. They got to cut a team, and well, they cut his team, and now he's gone. He's unemployed. He got laid off, and he's lucky because he's built, I believe, a community online. So going back to what I said before, figure out how to make some money online in this day and age. You got to do it. So he's built a community online. He's making money through social media, probably some kind of money there, which is nice. So that can help him out, hold him or keep him afloat while he figures out his next move. But yeah, 6 years at a job, and there's people that have spent more than 6 years at a job, and then boom, gone. They're laid off. And again, it goes back to job security being a myth. It really is a myth. So yeah, get a side hustle, guys. Figure out another way to make money and build up that cash savings.
Well, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again. Twice in a year. And, what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now. So, we're gonna lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low-key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this so that we have to rely on other things, other people. It's fucking shit. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. I'm tired of my livelihood being in other people's hands. And I have no idea how to fix that, but I'm going to, because this is just wild. And I'm fucking angry more than I am hurt or sad. I'm scared. I have no idea where any of my bills are gonna come from, the money. I'm more angry than anything because I just cannot even believe I used to be able to get a job like the week later if I got laid off.
Man, that's rough. So she got laid off, then a year later she got laid off, pretty much a year later to the date, and that's got to be almost demoralizing, right? It's just got to be a terrible feeling. And personally, I've never been laid off, so I can't really relate to that feeling. I've always had my own business. I've done stock market trading. I have a business around that. So I've never had that feeling of being laid off, of being like, I'm screwed, oh my God, my income's gone. I've never been through that, but man, I can tell she's going through it. She's feeling emotions. I mean, she's angry, and it sucks, especially if you have bills, man. Bills don't stop. Your income could stop. you could get laid off, right? But guess what? The bills don't stop. They keep coming. On the 1st of the month, you got rent. On the 5th of the month, you got your car payment or whatever it is, right? On the 10th, you got the phone bill. It's like it doesn't stop. So I can feel her pain through the video. It's definitely demoralizing. It's got to be, man. And I really do hope it works out for her. Let's do one more clip here, guys, and then we'll wrap up.
I just got home from being laid off as an HR business partner today. It sucks, and all I said to my director was it caught me off guard, but I'm not surprised. Their initiative to have everyone get together and find a friendly way to cut costs, their inability to promote people and give people raises, cutting budgets in other ways, these are all signs of a layoff. My position was more business partner and strategy, so obviously strategy of moving people forward and growing people means more money. So it makes sense that my position was cut from the rest of the generalist and admin type HR team. So I'm in a state of disassociating right now, and the one thing that I did remember to say is I could request a recommendation on LinkedIn. So yeah, he's excited to give me a recommendation, and that's the first thing I'll be doing is requesting a recommendation on LinkedIn to show that it was nothing to do with my performance. It was truly a restructure of the company. But I'm in good hands because I know what I'm doing, and a lot of people don't. So hang in there if you're laid off or also looking for a job right now.
So there you have it. Another person that got laid off in another industry, right? Human resources. I don't know exactly what kind of business she worked for, but yeah, I mean, listen, man, in this kind of economy with this job market, not the best. Let's be honest. It's not the best. You have to make sure you are ready to go. You know, if you get laid off, you never know when you're going to get laid off. Going back to what I said before, there's no 2 weeks notice for that, right? But make sure you have all your eggs in order, or your goose in, whatever the heck that saying is. You know, make sure you have your resume, make sure your online profiles are pristine, your LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you have skills, certifications. Make sure you are employable. That's what it comes down to, guys. Make sure you have skills, you're employable. Make sure you can add value to a business, an organization. And if you can, if you're likable, you come in, you smile at the interview, right? You seem personable. You won't have a problem getting a job, most likely, unless things get really bad in this jobs market. So, yeah, I don't think we're there yet. The economy, it's not like it's collapsing or anything. It's not that bad right now. So be ready. That's what it comes down to. Have your crap in order, right? So if you do get laid off, you're going to be fine. Make sure you have some cash set aside. Make sure you maybe have a side hustle or another source of income, something coming in, and you'll be okay. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been laid off before? Let me know down below, and make sure to subscribe. We're actually doing a cash giveaway at 1,000 subs on this channel, so make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next video.